Hello and welcome to my CommunityKC research project speech. I'm going to give a speech to inform the listener, Professor Stone, on my reflection and my suggestions of the CommunityKC project that we did for the past few months. As it was a great project and a great idea, I believe that there are some aspects of this project that could be improved, and there are also a lot of aspects that should be maintained and kept the same for future students. While the project with CommunityKC did allow me to utilize and improve on my research skills, it was ultimately difficult to practice my more advanced research skills due to a majority of the projects listed on the website being outdated and also inactive. Not only were the projects outdated, but the website seems a little bit outdated as well. So, the CommunityKC project had a purposeful idea behind it. It allowed students to improve on analyzing their website usability. It provided the opportunity of being able to apply basic research skills, and I say basic because I feel that one would not be able to really go in depth on research skills and be more complex with their research skills because there wasn't much to really research. The CommunityKC project also allowed one to become aware of ways to stay involved in the community, which is something great about it. However, the CommunityKC website that was used for the base of the project made it extremely difficult to utilize those complex research skills in a comprehensive and lasting approach. And by lasting approach, I really just mean something, instead of it being one-sided or being stopped at a stopping point where you can't move further, that's really what the problem was, is hitting that wall and not being able to further your research more in depth. The CommunityKC project did have some positive attributes that one can appreciate. The idea of the project itself was great in that it subtly taught the skill of website analyzing. It allowed students to become experts in evaluating a website as far as its usability. From that, one was able to provide to the creators of the website on what should be improved and what should be preserved. So throughout the semester, we, in a sense, tried to work with CommunityKC on how they can improve their website for the users and for future use for anyone who comes across it, whether that be just someone looking to work out in the community or someone who's looking to get their project and their word out. I believe that using this site as a user really allowed for me to use that to my advantage, to be also a recommender to CommunityKC developers. The project also helped in supporting students to research it without it being too complex or stressful, something any college student can value. I mean, college students are busy, they're loaded with so much stuff to do, and I think that this was something that personally I looked forward to. It was never something that was like, oh, I have to do that. It was more of like okay, this is gonna be fun. Like, I thought it was fun. I thought it was enjoyable, and I didn't feel pressured. I didn't feel stressed. I felt at ease whenever giving these speeches or whenever writing process memos and usability reports and all of those things. I felt like I learned from these things. I felt that it was a good learning experience, and although I think it could have been more challenging, I definitely felt that it was a very good experience for me as a student, especially being in nursing school. There's a lot of stress already, and I felt that this class and this project was something I could go to kind of ease my mind. I don't know that that would be necessarily a good thing or a bad thing, but to me, it was a good thing, and that's something that I definitely would say is a positive attribute of this project, that it was, it taught me how to analyze a website and see it in not only a user's view but also in a critique's view. I learned to make recommendations. I learned to reach out to people. I believe that in itself is research. I mean, it might not be complex to some people, but I think that in its own sense, it definitely had a good value to it. So now more on to the negative attributes, or something that could be fixed about this project, is the engagement part. So the engagement part of the project was difficult because a lot of the projects on the website are either outdated or they're no longer active. This makes it really difficult for any student trying to reach out to those organizations about their projects, because it seemed that based on the discussion boards, a lot of students were not really receiving any emails back from the projects that they were supposed to be further doing more research on and helping to re-update their project on CommunityKC website. So that was definitely difficult, and with that you get the fact that you can't really practice secondary research skills. You're not really getting that engagement portion because you're kind of, like I said earlier, you're hitting a wall, and with that you can't really further your research. Not only were the projects themselves outdated, but the website, as I said before, seems as if it had not been updated either, as many recent projects, you can see that on the screen right here, were from like 5 to 9 months ago. So that being said, I just feel that this website is very outdated, just as far as the projects go and as far as the website and the creators go. I feel like that no one's really gotten on this to update it in 5 months. So with all that in front of us, I would just say, for future, the choice of the website for the semester-long project might need to be reevaluated and changed to maybe a different website, or maybe even an app that is active with a similar purpose. So whether that be a website that has a similar purpose with the community. I really like the idea of the community projects and volunteering and all of that. I think that's great, and I think it's great that they want to connect projects, people, and resources. I really love the idea of the website and the project, but for future, in order for someone to utilize their research skills, I feel that the website for the project needs to be changed, and that could either be a website or an app, because apps are readily available on phones and people are using them. So that's also something that could be really, really useful. The next biggest problem of the project was, the biggest problem of the project, I think, out of everything, was like I have said, using a website that's outdated. Having an outdated website makes it difficult for one to conduct more in-depth research, which ultimately impedes the process of one developing higher level research skills. So whenever I have developed more research skills, but trying to move forward with this project, it was very hard because you don't get any replies and no one's really doing anything. It's not really engaging with the community or with the developers of the site, which is the purpose of a community engagement kind of research. The lack of the updated projects, it made it difficult for one to get information on the website and difficult to get the purpose, which in the end led to not as much research being conducted that could have been conducted. And, one can navigate the website all day long, but when it comes to a successful research, a collaboration is needed between the researcher and the community partner in order to help the community and make a difference. Because in order to improve this site, we need to talk to the developers, we need to talk to the people on it, and without that you can't really do your research on how we can make it better. So all in all, the CommunityKC project had a great purpose behind it. It allowed one to utilize basic research skills and engage in the community. Nonetheless, it did not allow for one to accomplish total community engaged research because it was one-sided, as the community partner was absent for the project, and there was really no true engagement between the researcher and the developer. Um, so that was not achieved. So I would say, for future classes, an active website that promotes true engagement between the researcher and the developer would ultimately be more beneficial for one to become a more skilled researcher.